Shri Ganeshaya Namaha, Shri Saraswatyai Namaha, Shri Sadgurubhyo Namaha. Samasta Janakalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahmavidvaram Manojavam Marudhatulya Vegam Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayuta Mukhyam Sriramadootam Sirasa Namami Santoshini Jaganmata Mamaso Bhagyavriddhaye Namaskaromi Bhaktya Tvam Prasanna Varada Bhava Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha Jnanayikamuktaye Nirmalaya Prashandaya Dakshinamuktaye Namaha Satchitanandarupaya Vishwotpathyadihetave Tapatraya Vinashaya Sri Krishnaya Vayam Namaha Nilambujasyamalakomalangam Sita Samaropita Vamabhagam Parnau Mahasayika Charuchapam Namami Ramam Rakhavam Sanatham Krishno Rakshatu Mam Charachara Guru Krishnam Namasye Sada Krishne Naiva Surakshito Hamasagrat Krishnaya Dattam Manaha Krishna Deva Samudbhavo Mama Vibho Krishnasya Dasosmyaham Krishne Bhaktirajanjalastu Bhagavan He Krishna Tubhyam Namaha He Krishna Tubhyam Namaha. So we are on the Dasakam 91.
Yeah.
Now, this Dasakam is a summary of chapters 2 and 3 of 11th Skanda of Bhagavata Purana. Now, there was a story earlier, King Nabi and his son Rishabhadev. He was a partial incarnation of Lord Vishnu. Now Rishabhadev had 100 children. The eldest was Bharata, a great devotee of Lord Narayana, after whose name our land is called Bharatavarsha. All the 100 sons were well versed in Vedas. 9 of them became great sages. known as Rishabha Yogishwaras. Their names were Kavi, Hari, Antariksha, Prabuddha, Pippalayana, Avirhotra, Drumila, Chamas, and Karabhajana. These sages beheld the universe, gross as well as subtle, as identical with the Lord, and they used to roam around in this world without any constraints. Once they went on their own accord to attend a sacrifice conducted by King Nimi, that is Janaka Maharaj, an enlightened soul. It is said that seeing these sages, effulgent like the sun and devoted to the Lord, the sacrificer, King Nimi, the sacred flames and the Brahmanas who were performing the rites all rose to welcome them. Knowing them to be great devotees of Narayana, King Nami felt very much delighted to see them. After being seated and duly worshipped according to seniority, King asked a few questions and they answered the question, and the content of this dasakam are the exposition of the Rishabha Yogishwaras on various topics raised by the king. The essence of the whole teaching is what is Bhagavata Dharma. Now that is what in mainly these two dasakams, Patadari is going to give. Now let us see. Who is reading today?
Swamiji, myself.
Ramala.
Shri Krishna Tvatpadopasanam Abhayatamam Baddhamityartha Drishtehe Martasyartasya Manye Vyapasarati Bhayam Yena Sarvatmanaiva Yattavatvat Pranitaniha Bhajana Vidhi Nasthito Mohamarge Dhavannapyavrutakshah Skhalati na kuhachid deva akhilatman.
Hey Sri Krishna, O Sri Krishna, aham manye. I learned from my experience that martasya artasya baddham ityartha drishtehe. For a man, artasya afflicted by the threefold miseries, adi, devikam, adhyatmikam, adi bhautikam miseries, and whose mind is firm, baddha mithyartha drishte. Mind is firmly bound by the illusion that I am the body. Tat padopasanam abhayatamam. The only ultimate refuge is to serve at your feet. Yena bhayam sarvatmana eva, by which fear totally gets eliminated. Deva Akhilatman, O Lord of Lords and one of cosmic form. Yat astitaha iha, on this account, if a person established in these bhajana vidhin tot pranitan, path of worship laid down by you, dhavan mohamarge, run along with the path of delusion, api avrudakshaha tavat, even with his eyes blindfolded, certainly na kalati kuhachita, naskalati. He does not slip anywhere. So now this Dasaka, 11th skanda of Bhagavatam is titled as Mukti, because every skanda of Bhagavatam has got a topic. The Prathama skanda is called Sarga. Sarga means creation. Visarga means the basic creation, and then multiplication of that basic creation is Visarga. Then Sthiti, then Poshanam, nourishment, then Manvantara, different manus, then Utihi, karma vasanas, that is called Asura Vasana, and the Devi Vasanas, then Isha Kathas, the different kathas, different stories of the kings and avatars, and Nirodha, then Mukti. Nirodha is actually the Bhagavan's avatara. Then Mukti. Now, the ninth topic, that is the 11th skanda, is Mukti. Then the 10th skanda is 12th skanda is Ashraya. So, so here, Bhattadri is saying that one can get out of this illusion that I am this body and resulting at bondage from this misconception. One can get out of this dukkha only when one dedicate all activities at the feet of Lord. Such a person alone can escape from the torture of this samsara. The first claim, first dharma of Bhagavad Dharma is whatever you do it as an offering to the Lord. That is the first principle of Bhagavad Dharma. Continuing.
भूमन् कायेन वाचा मुहुरपि मनसा त्वद्बलप्रेरितात्मा यद्यत् कुर्वे समस्तं तदिह परतरे त्वय्यसा वर्पयामि जात्यापीह श्वपाकः त्वयि निहितमनः कर्मवागिन्द्रियार्थ प्राणो विश्वं पुनीते न तु विमुखमनाः त्वत्पदा विप्रवर्यः.
Hey Bhumanna, O all-pervading one, Aham Tvat Preritatma, I whose mind is prompted by your power, Arpayami Muhuhu, consign again, Toi Paratare Samastam Tat, to you, the Supreme Consciousness, all of that, Yat Kurve Iha. Whatever I do here, Kayena, Vacha, Api, Manasa, physically, orally, or even mentally, Api Shvapakaha Jatya, even if one is of low birth, Shapaka means Chandala, the one who cook and eat dog, called Shapaka. Nihita manah karma, walk indriyartha pranatvayi. If one's mind, action, speech, organs, all sensual enjoyments, and even vital energies are fixed on you, Punite iha vishwam, one sanctifies this universe, but tu vimukhamanaha, but one whose mind is turned away, tatpadat, from your feet, vipravaryaha api na, even if he is the foremost of Brahmanas, does not gain mukti. The idea is all actions of living being are performed as directed by you, because you are the indweller and stationed in all minds. That's why Bhagavan said in Gita, Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. So, Bhagavan is the one enlivening the mind first. And as consciousness reflected in the mind, we call it as Pratibimba Atma. That Pratibimba Atma is otherwise called ego, ahankara. And with that Pratibimba Atma, using the mind, the Lord Himself is the one observe the world. So one is I, that is reflected Atma, I. Then that I identify with object in the world outside through senses is called Mama. This is mine, this is yours. This division takes place. In other words, what is happening is Bhagavan himself is doing everything as though. So, seeing, hearing, eating, walking, talking, enjoying, rejecting, everything seems to be the Lord who is residing in you, in whose presence all these things are happening. So therefore, yat karoshi, yat asnasi, yat juhoshi, dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya, tat kurushva padarpanam. So whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer in sacrifice, whatever you give as charity, whatever austerity you perform, do that as an offering to the Lord. This is the bottom line of this verse. The idea is, see everything as a manifestation of the Lord. The second principle of Bhagavad Dharma is, see everything as the manifestation of the Lord. By this one can overcome fear. Wherever there is Dvaitam, there is fear. Wherever there is oneness, there is no fear. Continuing.
भीतिर्नाम द्वितीयाद् भवति ननु मनः कल्पितं च द्वितीयं तेनैक्याभ्यासशीलो हृदयमिह यथा शक्तिबुद्ध्या निरुन्ध्याम् माया विद्धेतु तस्मिन् पुनरपि न तथा भाति मायाधिनाथं तं त्वां भक्त्या महत्या सततमनुभजन् ईश भीतिं विजह्याम्.
Bhitihi nama bhavati. The sentiments called fear is born. Nanu dvitiyat. Out of a thing other than oneself. Dvitiyat dhi bhayam bhavati. Wherever there is duality, there is always fear that this person is different from me. Then you start thinking he is a threat. But he is my own family, or he is own my son, child. Then there is a oneness. Fear disappears. Dvitiyam jap manakalpidam. And Bhattadri says this dvitiyatvam is only an imagination of mind. Actually speaking, there is nothing called second one. There is only one thing. The second one is a thought born of ignorance, fancy of the mind, manakkalpidam, tena iha aikyabhyasashilaha. Therefore, in this matter, developing the discipline regarding the oneness of the cause and effect. You are all Vedantic students, now I don't have to explain. What is the cause? Clay is the cause, effect is pot. What is clay and pot relationship? Pot is nothing but a name given to a shape. What is essentially the pot? Pot is nothing but clay alone. Inherent and concurrent is clay. So, clay become abhinna nimitta upadana karanam. So, cause and effect. Now, if you apply that to the creation, now for every creation, two causes are there. One is the efficient cause, another is material cause. When it comes to pot maker, pot and pot maker is the efficient cause, ulala, and pot is the material, the clay is the material cause. In this case, the pot maker is different from the material cause. So when you buy a pot, you don't have to buy the pot maker. He is separate. Same thing with ornaments. The goldsmith is different from gold. If you apply that theory, that is what this Semitic religion, they all make that mistake. God sitting in heaven created the world. The God is separated from the world. Then he cannot be all-pervasive. He will have to be limited himself in a place, Vaikuntha or Satyaloka or in Kailasa. He cannot be called all-pervasive. So these are all the logical problem. Therefore, our rishis have thought about it, and our Vedas also declares that the material is also Bhagavan himself. It has not come from somewhere. Because if it has come from somewhere else other than Bhagavan, then that cause becomes superior than Bhagavan. There will be a parallel cause. So there is only, then it will go against the term infinite. Brahma Shabda means infinite. So infinite can be two, only one. Therefore, the efficient cause and material cause both are one and the same. That is why it is said apinna nimitta upadana karanam. So therefore, clay and pot both are one and the same. Same way, creation and creator both are one and the same. This understanding is called Ekatma Bhava. Dakshinamurti Stotram, Bhagavan Shankaracharya talks about Ekatma Bhava. So, if oneness, this is called seeing oneness in everything. So, Nirundhyat Hridayam Yatha Shakti. So Bhattacharya says, I shall restrain my mind according to my ability, buddhya, using the power of discrimination, tu tasmin maya vitthe punaha. If that mind gets overpowered by illusion again, niruddhe nabhati tatha api. Even when restrained, it will not remain so. Ataha e isha. Therefore, O Lord, satatam anubhajan tvam te, constantly worship you of such nature. Mayathinadam mahatya bhaktya, the sole control of Maya with great devotion. Vijahyam bhitim, I shall overcome fear. So how to overcome fear? The one method is that seeing that Bhagavan everywhere. The Lord, everything that you see is a manifestation of Bhagavan. That's why 10th chapter, Vibhuti Yoga, 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshanam, Bhagavan demonstrated that he is everything. So this aspect we have to absorb in our mind. Just not read and keep that knowledge as an information, and you can vomit to others also. You can say you are a scholar. That doesn't work. Doesn't give you the benefit of that learning. It is not for teaching others. It is teaching your own mind. Then the third principle is company of good people enhances devotion and brings one nearer to God. How to gain this oneness, Samatva Bhavana, is by the association of Mahatmas and Satsanga. Now that is being told here, continuing. Bhakti Rutpatti Vritti.
भक्तेरुत्पत्ति वृद्धि तव चरणजुषां संगमेनैव पुंसाम् आसाध्ये पुण्यभाजां श्रिय इव जगति श्रीमतां संगमेन तत्संगो देव भूयात् मम खलु सततं तन्मुखाद् उन्मिषद्भिः त्वन्माहात्म्य प्रकारैः भवति च सुदृढा भक्तिरुद्धूत पापा.
Jagati, Srimatam, Jagati, in this world, Utpatti Vritti Bhaktehe Asadhye. Generation and growth of devotion are attainable. Eva Sangamena Punyabhajam Pumsam. Only by association with virtuous people, Mahatmas. Charana Jusham Tava, who are devoted to your feet, lotus feet. Iva Shriyaha Sangamena Srimatam. Like example, prosperity by association with rich people. He Deva Tat Sangaha. O Lord, may that association Khalu Bhuyat Mama certainly happen to me. Bhaktihi Uddhuta Papa Bhuyat. May that devotion which destroys all sins become Sudrita cha Satatam Bhavati, firmly fixed forever on you. Tvan Mahatmya Prakarehi, on account of the special qualities of your greatness. Unmishatpihi Tanmukhat, emerging from their virtuous, noble mouths. So, Satsangatve Nissangatvam, Nissangatve Nirmohatvam, Nirmohatve Nischalatatvam, Nischalatatve Jivan Muktihi. This is the sequence. So, having association with Mahatmas, Bhaktas, Mahatmas who are Bhaktas of Bhagavan, only with their association you will gain the required vairagya. That's why in Ramayana there is a particular scene where Hanumanji, when he was about to enter Lanka, Lankini stopped him. And at that time, Hanumanji was tired because he has faced so many obstacles. First one Mainaka, then Surasa, then what do you call that? There was another Rakshasi also. All of them he tackled, and finally he thought he's already reached Lanka. He doesn't want to argue with her. He just gave her one beating. And with that, she fell down, vomiting blood. And getting up, she said, "This today I had great satsang." Hanumanji thought, what satsang? I gave her a beating. What is this satsang I gave? She said, this satsang, 1 minute of satsang is equal to even mukti. So, Surga, Apavarga, Atita. So, what is this Apavarga? Apavarga is called Moksha. How you can interpret Apavarga as Moksha? Because Pavarga. So, in Kavarga, Tavarga, Tavarga, Pavarga is there. So, Pa, Ba, Ma. Pa means Papam. Bha is Bhayam. Ba means Bandhanam. Ba, Bha. Pa is Phalam. Pa is Phalam, the Karma Phalam. So Papam, then Karma Phalam, these are all Bandhanam. Ba. Then Bandhanam. Bha means Bhayam, fear. Then Ma means Maranam. So, where all these are completely not there or removed or free, that is called moksha. So, pavarga, apavarga. So, aha stands for nunch, negative. So, apavarga and surga, of course, surga is limited. So, this satsanga is greater than even moksha, she says. Now, Hanumanji said, how did I give you this satsanga? Then she said, only in satsanga you get beating. Beating to whom? To your ego, ahankara. In all of the sanghas, our ego get boosted, isn't it? You go to party, beauty, क्या है? सत्संग में क्या होता है? वो सत्संग नहीं है. वो तो this ego increasing sangha and socializing in the temple, that also what? It is not a satsanga. It is increasing boosting your ego. But when you listen to Mahatmas, then only you realize how wretched life we are leading, how ignoble life we are leading, what a waste of life, the way we are living, what a waste. You feel miserable and you decide to lead a noble life. That is the result of satsang. And that satsang alone will take you to the right path. Come nearer and nearer to the Lord. That is the third principle, company of great Mahatmas. Continuing.
श्रेयो मार्गेषु भक्तावधिकबहुमतिः जन्मकर्माणि भूयः गायन् क्षेमाणि नामान्यपि तदुभयतः प्रद्रुतं प्रद्रुतात्मा उद्यद्दासः कदाचित् कुहचिदपि रुदन् क्वापि गर्जन् प्रगायन् उन्मादीव प्रनृत्यन् नयि कुरु करुणाम् लोकबाह्यश्चरेयम्.
Adhika bahumatihi bhaktau, with preference for path of devotion. Now the next principle is choose the path of devotion, the easiest path to salvation. Now here say Adhika bahumatihi bhaktau Shreyo margeshu gayan. Among the path leading to moksha, the path of devotion is the best. Bhuyaha janma karmani. Repeatedly about your incarnation and deeds. Chemani apunamani apinamani. Singing repeatedly about your incarnation and your leelas, which gives you happiness, as also the divine names acquired through those exploits, tadubhayadaha, and due to both stories of exploits and names, pradrutam pradrutatma bhutva, soon gaining the purity of mind, mellowness of mind. Aham chareyam lokabhakyaha iva. May I wander like one who is beyond the social conventional norms of this world. Kadachit udyathasaha, sometime laughing aloud. Kuhachit rudan kwapi garjan, sometime crying, sometime roaring. Pragayan, other time singing loudly. And pranityan unmadi iva, keeping on dancing like an intoxicated person. Ahi Guru Karuna, O Lord, show compassion on me. These are all Bhakta Lakshanas that, in the 7th canto of Bhagavatam, these Lakshanas were given in Prahlada's life. Prahlada used to laugh at times, seeing the glory of Bhagavan. Sometimes he cries, sometimes he get up and dance in ecstatic joy. These are the Lakshanas of Bhakta. Bhattadri says, may you bless me to have those qualities of Bhakti. So, the next point is Bhagavata Dharma. Number 5, perceive the presence of God in all living beings, friends and enemies alike. Continuing.
भूतान्येतानि भूतात्मकमपि सकलं पक्षिमत्स्यान् मृगादीन् मर्त्यान् मित्राणि शत्रूनपि यमितमतिः त्वन्मयान् यानमानि त्वत्सेवायां हि सिद्ध्येन्मम तव कृपया भक्तिदार्ढ्यं विरागः त्वत्तत्त्वस्यावबोधोऽपि च भुवनपते यत्नभेदं विनैव.
Anamani etani bhutani. I shall salute these 5 elements. 5 elements, Akasha, Vayu, Rakti, Rabha, Prithvi. Api Sakalam Bhodatmakam. Even everything composed of those elements. Pakshi Matsyan, Mrigatin, Martyan, bird, fishes, animals, etc. and human beings. Mitrani Abhishatrun, Yamitamadihi, friends and even enemies with restraint of mind. Tvan Mayani, considering them as your forms alone. He Puvanapate, O Lord of the universe, He Tava Kripaya Mama Siddhed. On this account, by your grace, may I attain Bhakti Dardhyam Tatsevayam, firmness, devotion in worshipping you. Viragaha apicha avabodhaha, and also a sense of detachment and knowledge. Tattatsa vida yatra bhedam eva, of your true nature without any separate effort. That's why in Gita also Bhagavan said, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shunichaiva Shupakecha Panditaha Samadarshinaha. So, a Mahatma, a Pandita, is the one who never differentiate whether he is a Brahmana or a cow or a Chandala. All of them, in all of them, he sees Bhagavan's presence. So, perceive the presence of God in all living being. That's the idea here. Friends, enemies, birds, fishes, animals. And that is the reason why Hindus worship everything. Because we see the presence of Lord in everything. Trees, plants, rivers, elements, Vayu Bhagavan, Agni Bhagavan, Bhumi Devi, Vayu Bhagavan, Akasha, all of them we worship because we know they are all Bhagavan himself. Then the sixth point is merge your mind with the Lord and enjoy happiness and sorrow as they are the effect of Maya. Consider the joy and the sorrow. They are all part of Maya, not yourself. Your nature is that absolute bliss. This understanding is called real bhakta. Continuing.
नो मुह्यन् क्षुत्रुडाध्यैः भवसरणिभवैः त्वन्निलीनाशयत्वात् चिन्ता सातत्यशाली निमिषलवमपि त्वत्पदादप्रकम्पः इष्टानिष्टेषु तुष्टि व्यसनविरहितो मायिकत्वावबोधात् ज्योत्स्नाभिस्त्वन्नखेन्दोः अधिकशिशिरितेनात्मना सञ्चरेयम्
Tvannilinashayatvat. By virtue of my mind having merged in you, no muhyan kshutradadyaihi, not being overpowered by hunger, thirst, etc. No muhyan, not being overpowered by kshutradadyaihi, by hunger or thirst. Bhava sarani bhavaihi. So this hunger and thirst, etc., is born of worldly life. Aprakampaha api nimishapalavam, and never deviating even for a fraction of a moment. Tutpadat, from your lotus feet. Chinta satatyashali, being immersed in continuous thought about you. Aham sanchareyam, may I keep wandering about. Tushti vyasana virahitaha, free from feelings of happiness and sorrow. Ishtanishteshu, in favorable and unfavorable things. Mayikatvavabhotat. Now realizing them to be the effects of Maya, Atmana Atika Sisiridena, and with the mind rendered exceedingly cool. Josnabihi Twan Nakendroho, by the rays of the moon of your toenails. So, when your attention is at the lotus feet of Bhagavan, the shine that comes from the toenails, that itself is enough to destroy all illusion in the mind. So he says there are so many beautiful things is told here. So that devotion, if it has kindled in your mind, then that person will not feel the pangs of hunger, thirst, etc. You can see that in the stories of Tukaram Maharaj. If you have seen, there are now movies also they produce. You watch those. You have to read the stories of Mahatmas who are Bhaktas. Then you can understand these values. They are all very well demonstrated. Tukaram was not a very rich person, but it never bothered him. He used to immerse in the bhakti of Bhagavan. In fact, his wife was so angry with him. Not only angry with him, angry with his Lord also, Vittal. One day she got so angry with Vittal. She went with chappal to beat him actually. That ferocious she was. And Tukaram, seeing this, he has to pray to the Lord, Deva, you have given me such a wife out of your compassion for me. If you have given me a loving wife, I would have forgotten you. Because you have given me a wife like this, I constantly remember you. That is also your compassion, love. Think about it, how he thinks. That is Bhakta's mind. Any situation, they will always turn to thank the Lord. They never complain. Never complain, not even once, why you have given me a wife like this. No. Always thank God. This is in everything. In happiness and sorrow, both they consider it is Ishvara Kripa, Ishvara Prasadam. And this particular attitude is the Bhakta Lakshana. Dveshta Sarvabhutanam Maitra Karunayevacha Dharmamo Nirahankaraha Samadukha Sukakshami Santushta Satatam Yogi Yatatma Dridhanishchaya Mayarpidamano Buddhi Yo Mat Bhakta Same Priya. So such a person is dear to me. He is my Bhakta, Bhagavan says. So that is what is told here. Now continuing, the seventh principle of Bhagavata Dharma is worship of the Lord alone can bring equanimity of thought. So worship is also given importance.
भूतेष्वेषु त्वदैक्यस्मृति समधिगतौ नाधिकारोऽधुना चेत् त्वत्प्रेम त्वत्कमैत्री जडमतिषु द्विष्सु भूयादुपेक्षा अर्चायां वा समर्चा कुतुकमुरुतर श्रद्धया वर्धतां मे त्वत्संसेवी तथापि द्रुतमुपलभते भक्तलोकोत्तमत्वम्.
Adhikaraha, fitness means qualification. So the Aikya Smriti Samadhigatau, to attain the consciousness of one with you. Yeshu Bhuteshu Nachet Adhuna, in this living being is lacking. At this time, Bhuyat Tvat Prema, may there arise loving devotion to you. Tvat Karmaitri, friendship of your devotees. Tvat Kripa Jatamadishu, kindness towards the ignorance. Upeksha Ditsu, and indifference towards enemies. Va samarcha kutukam archayam. Or may the desire to offer worship to your image. Urutaraha Shraddhaya Vardhadam me. With enhanced dedication grow within me. So, and tatha api tvam samsevi drudam. At least that way, one who worship you quickly. Upalabhate bhakta lokottamatvam. Attain excellence among your devotees. I will tell you now. So the idea is how to develop bhakti. To start with worship of Lord. Now in 11th canto, in the Uddhava Gita, Bhagavan gave description about how to worship Lord with idol. What type of idol to be used? There are different type of idols. The description is given there. You can make a clay idol, or you can make panchaloha, or you can make out of silver, gold, or brass. All these or wood also. All these options were given. And how you should worship Shodasopachara Puja. All these detailed descriptions are given. And the genesis of the worship Sampradaya started in Dwapara Yuga. The origin of worship. Because in Satya Yuga, it was tapas. In Treta Yuga, it was rituals. So that's why Bhagavan Ramchandraji always protected yaga. And in Dwapara Yuga, worship became popular. Because when Bhagavan used to travel from Dwaraka to Hastinapura, on the way all devotees used to line up, offered worship to him. Sometimes they make him sit down and offer water on his head. And all kinds of upacharas they used to do. Abhishekam. Sometime on the feet, sometime on himself. This became a problem for him. So he said, okay, instead of worshipping on me, you take my idol, worship. So that is how the idol worship started. So slowly we develop bhakti. So he who worship, so it is said in Bhagavatam also to quote that Archayameva haraye pujam yas shraddhaye hate natat bhakteshu janyeshu sabhaktaha prakrita smritaha. So there are three kinds of worship is told in the Bhagavatam. One is sattvic bhakti, highest form of bhakti. So, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavyastini Shunichaiva Shubhakecha Pandita Samadarshinaha. So, this is called the highest form of bhakti. The wise look at a Brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog, all alike. This is highest form of bhakti. The second type, Ishware tadadhineshu balisheshu dushatsu cha prema maitri kripopeksha yakkaroti samadhyamaha. So, this person cherishes love for the Lord, is friendly to the other devotees of the Lord, compassionate to the ignorant, and indifferent to his enemies, is the second grade of devotion, because he discriminates among these classes, whereas the one described in the previous shloka makes no discrimination. They look at them all equal. Then the third one, tamasi, archayamesha hareye pujamya shraddhaye hate natat bhakteshu chanyeshu sa bhaktaha prakrita smrtaha. He who worships the Lord with faith in an image or idol only and does not serve his devotees and other beings. So in the puja room, he is a great bhakta. But the moment he come out, he become a devil himself. Such bhakti is called low-class bhakti. So mati acharam and all that we use as to, what is that? To keep people away from you. They are not Bhagavatottama. So next dharma, Bhagavata dharma is overcome Maya by devotion at the lotus feet of Lord. Continuing.
आवृत्य त्वत्स्वरूपं क्षितिजलमरुदाध्यात्मना विक्षिपन्ति जीवान् भूयिष्ठकर्मावलिविवशगतीन् दुःखजाले क्षिपन्ति त्वन्मायामाभिभून्मामयि भुवनपते कल्पते तत्प्रशान्त्यै त्वत्पादे भक्तिरेवेत्य वदति विभो सिद्धयोगी प्रवृद्धः.
Ai Bhuvanapate Twan Maya, O Lord of the universe, may your Maya Avrityattvaswarupam, O concealing your real nature, Vikshipanti, project herself into the whole universe. Chiti Jala Marudhatyatmana, with a form composed of the elements earth, water, air, and others. Kshipanti dukkha jale jivan, throwing into the snare of suffering the jivas. Bhuishta karmavali vivashagatin, who are helplessly bound to their past action. Ma abhibhut mam, not overpower me. Ai vibho tat prashantehi, all pervading one, for subduing her. Bhakti tvatpade eva kalpate, devotion to your feet alone is prescribed. Iti avadat siddha yogi prabuddha, so said Yogishwara Prabuddha. So, how to get out of this Maya Jal of Bhagavan? Maya has got this power of Avarana Shakti and Vikshepa Shakti, covering the nature of Bhagavan and project something else, covering the rope and projecting it as snake. So these two problems one can overcome by holding the feet of Bhagavan. That alone will save you, nothing else. Okay, continuing.
दुःखान्यालोक्य जन्तुष्वलमुदित विवेकोऽहम् आचार्यवर्यात् लब्ध्वा त्वद्रूपतत्त्वम् गुणचरितकथाद् उद्भवद्भक्तिभूमा मायामेनां तरित्वा परमसुखमये त्वत्पदे मोदिता हे तस्यायं पूर्वरङ्गः पवनपुरपते नाशया शेषरोगान्
Alokya dukkhani jandushu. Having seen the suffering in living being, it's called pariksha lokan. Slokan pariksha, experimenting the world, means when you go through experiences, you should gain knowledge. But we go through experiences mechanically. We refuse to learn from those experiences, especially suffering. Alam udita vivekaha. So when you go through experiences, you should gain what? Knowledge. Labdva tot rupatattvam, and finally attaining the knowledge of your true nature, from whom Acharya Varyat, from the best of gurus. Guna charita katat udbhavat bhakti bhuma, and with devotion born out of listening to your virtues and stories of your incarnations. Aham taritva enam maya. May I, after crossing this maya, moditahe totpade, stay happily at your divine feet. Paramasukamaye, embodiment of supreme bliss. Tasya ayam purvarangaha. For this overcoming Maya is a prelude. He Pavanapurapate, O Lord of Guruvayur, Nashaya Ashesha Rogan. May you destroy all my ailments. Only when I am healthy, I will be able to pray properly. That's the idea. With that, we complete that dasakam and we continue next class. Next class, I will not be here next Saturday. I will let you know when I am back. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.